Hello friends, so I'm back with my new lecture. The topic of today's discussion is comparison of Indian Constitution with French Constitution. So we have already studied the comparison of Indian Constitution with US Constitution, with British Constitution, and now we will study the comparison with French Constitution. So definitely you should know the comparison of Indian Constitution with different countries' constitution. So in this series of lecture we will study about the Indian Constitution with Russia, Indian Constitution with German, South African, and Irish Constitution, and Australian. So today we will study French Constitution. So we'll see what are the similarities between Indian and French Constitution. So as you can see, the similarity is both are the written constitution. You already know that Indian Constitution is the largest written constitution, while France Constitution is also the written constitution, and it has got five versions of French Constitution so far. So currently we are which the version of constitution which we are seeing is the fifth version of the constitution, which is currently in force in France. But the whatever the France constitution is there, the French constitution is also a written constitution. So that is the similarity between Indian and French constitution. We have already seen that our US constitution is also a written constitution, while British constitution is not a written constitution. But France constitution or French constitution you can say is a written constitution. Head of state in both the countries, the head of state is the president. And in India, the president is indirectly elected, is not directly elected. Indirectly elected means the MPs and MLAs, they elect the president. While in France, the president is directly elected. He is not indirectly elected; he is directly elected. But in both the countries, the president or the head of the state is directly elected. Is elected. The process of an amendment, you can say the process of amendment is approximate. They are similar in both the countries. See the parliament. In India, the parliament has to pass the amendment motion with if it is a simple majority amendment, it can be amended by a simple majority in both the houses of the parliament. Similarly, in France also, uh, the process the amendment the process of amendment is same. It is the parliament which is responsible for amending the constitution, but there is a difference between Indian constitution and French constitution in terms of amendment. We'll study in differences, but the similarity is in both the countries, it is the parliament which is responsible for amending the constitution. Other similarity, ideals of democracy. You already know that we have borrowed the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity from the French constitution. So, in India and France, liberty, equality, and fraternity, they are the ideals of democracy. Then, emergency provisions. In both the countries, it is the president who possesses the powers of the imposing the emergency in both the countries. But there is a difference that in India, it is the president who is on the advice of the Council of Ministers, or of the cabinet, imposes any emergency in India or any part of the country. While in France, it is the president who has the sole power to impose the emergency, even without the advice of the cabinet. Terms of president in both the countries is 5 years. So these are the similarities. मोटी मोटी similarities ये हैं इंडिया और फ्रांस के अंदर. What are the differences now? तो differences ज़्यादातर तो differences ही हैं, flexible और rigid. So Indian constitution is more flexible than rigid, है ना? While more flexible than rigid में कोई easy amendment कर सकते हैं, but France में rigid है amendment procedure, because for every law special majority is required. Special majority is a 60% majority. और अल्टरनेटिवली अगर इसमें एक और तरीका है अमेंडमेंट का कि अगर रेफरेंडम पास करवा देता है प्रेसिडेंट देश में किसी एक पर्टिकुलर कानून के ऊपर, तो कानून केम इनटू फोर्स हो जाएगा अगर रेफरेंडम में वो पास हो गया तो प्रेसिडेंट कैन इवन कॉल ए नेशनल रेफरेंडम. इसका था फुल forms of government. In both the countries, there is a difference between the form of government. As you know that India is a federal system of governance in India, while in France there is a unitary system of governance. Unitary federal, you already know that federal means that there is distribution of power between center and states. While in France there is no concept of states as such, so the entire power is distributed or is concentrated in the union. While the powers of president, so here the president, I already told you that the president works on the advice of council of ministers, but there president has unfettered powers or the sole power to take any decision. Other difference, type of government. In India we have the parliamentary form, while in France there is a semi-presidential form. So semi-presidential form का मतलब होता है कि president के पास powers हैं, but there is a concept of parliament also and the प्राइम मिनिस्टर कंसेप्ट ऑल्सो. सो इट इज कॉल्ड अ सेमी प्रेसिडेंशियल, जब में प्रेसिडेंट भी और प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी है. हम डिफरेंस ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं प्रेसिडेंट और प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म और सेमी प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म और पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म का. सिटीजनशिप इन इंडिया सिंगल सिटीजनशिप है, लेकिन फ्रांस में आप फ्रांस के अलावा किसी और कंट्री की सिटीजनशिप होल्ड कर सकते हैं. बट इंडिया में अगर आप किसी और कंट्री की सिटीजनशिप इफ यू टेक देन the citizenship of India is aborted, taken back from you. Religion. So in India, you already know that the concept of secularism in India is positive secularism. While in France, it is like the Western countries secularism, which is the negative form of secularism. Now, difference is in France, there is a complete separation of religion from the state. While in India, there is not a complete separation, or the state will support all the religions equally, or you can say the state is neutral towards all the religions. So there is a principal distance from religion, but not a complete separation. And the courts. In India, we have a unified, integrated, system of judiciary. Like we have the district courts, then we have the high courts and supreme courts. In this way, the hierarchy is there. So the appeal from the appeal against any decision of the district court lies to the high court, and from high court to supreme court. In this way, this system of judiciary works. But in France, there is not a united judiciary, no form of united or unified judiciary. There's complete separation or complete distribution of power, judicial powers in two parts. There is a criminal court, and then there is a administrative court. So administrative courts deal with the decisions or decisions which should take to be taken against the executives or administrative authorities. So the appeal of any appeal against the decision of the administrative authorities lie to the lie to the administrative courts. But if administrative court takes any decision, there is no further appeal which you can further appeal to any other court. So there is a complete separation of administrative courts and criminal courts. But in India, we have a concept of administrative court, which is the CAT, Central Administrative Tribunal. But the appeal against the decision of CAT lies to the High Court and further to the Supreme Court. So in this way, the court system is different in India and France. So mota, this is the difference of the constitution in India and France. In the next lecture, we'll study the Indian constitution difference with Russia, then Germany. In this way, we'll study. So wait for my new lecture. I'll not take much of the time to give this lecture also. So if you like my lecture, kindly like my lecture and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you very much.